I figure we wait. Let's get a few people up in here so we can actually get this old boy jumping and going, all right? Yeah, for real. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I won't give up and I won't give in. Yeah. Let me get some people up in here and then we can actually make something happen. Yeah. All right. Mm, 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 mm. Yes, sir. How is everyone doing today? How's everyone doing today? I pray everyone is doing good. Whoever joined, pray that you're doing all right. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. We're going to actually get into something today. So, well, first of all, my name is Michael Otis. I'm founder and CEO of Phenom Comics, if you do not know. So, one thing I definitely want you guys to know about me, I'm a straightforward individual, man. I'm cool. I've been loving doing this for years. You know, I'm from Cleveland. Again, I'm more laid back than anything else. I don't do anything too crazy, or anything like that. So what's going on with you, man? You know, and honestly, it's a little bit of a journey, but one thing's for sure is always trying to go forward and do something different with yourself. And honestly, that's the best thing for it to do, you know. But the whole reason why we even here is to talk about Phenom Comics, right? But like I said again, it's me. I'm gonna talk to you guys, be genuine with it, and just let it be known exactly what we come up with and exactly what I'm gonna do for you guys. And for me, this is something I've been wanting to do for years since I was a kid, man. I mean, and that's really what's going on with you, Chuck P. What's going on, bro? Hey, Bangladesh, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. So, yeah, man, I was just, like I said, just I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. This is my home, born and raised. You know, some folks to a degree would think that I have a southern accent sometimes because I can actually, because the way I speak, it could come off to being a little southern to a degree. But well, no, I'm born and raised here in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I'm from, straight up. That's where I represent, straight up. So yeah, I want to actually introduce to you guys again, Phenom Comics. Um, and what made me decide to actually go ahead and be inspired to do so. So for me, I started loving creation when I was about 7 years old, man. Like a lot of people will think that is a little crazy, but the truth be told, the thing about me was when I used to play video games and things like that. I used to like wrestling and Madden and your typical thing that a lot of kids would do. For me, I actually went ahead and decided to create a lot. That was my whole thing. I did not like getting into games unless I was able to create. So I would create my own, wrestlers and everything custom, and I had my own, my own venue and things like that, just in my head as a kid, just from scratch. Same thing for Power Rangers, and that's what inspired me looking at X-Men and Dragon Ball Z and all the things that kids loved growing up seeing, and that was great, and it inspired me to do all those things. I actually created my own book when I was about 8, 9 years old. It was literally, if I'm not mistaken, like right after the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie came out. And what's crazy about it, what actually got me going was the fact that, what got me going was seeing, the different and the demographics, and it was cool to me. So one thing I did was I made my Power Rangers from scratch. The Red Ranger was my favorite, so obviously I went with the Red Ranger. I created myself, and then I made other characters just custom. I made my own morphers, Megazords, weapons, everything from scratch. And mind you, I'm 8 years old. I'm coloring, putting words and everything into it, and it was just something that was good for me. And obviously, it was crazy about that was I showed my grandmother. You said the Green Ranger was your favorite. I feel like the Green Ranger, Tommy was everybody's favorite, man. Everybody's favorite. Let's just keep it real on that one. You know what I mean? But I was a Red Ranger, dude. Jason was my guy. I don't care what nobody said. I feel like, I may get a little bit of heat from this though, but Jason to give Tommy the business. Now we ain't gonna talk about nothing else after that. but honestly, man, but that's what inspired me. Seeing things like that, and I showed my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? I had showed, and she ended up going, and I kid you not, one day I just left my book at her house, and grandmother's getting them cleaning modes, man, and I ended up forgetting it. She threw my damn book away. Can you believe that? She threw it away. She was like, she just getting the cleaning mode. I know a lot of you guys got a lot of like your grandmothers and your women or your husbands, whoever. Once they get in the cleaning mode, they don't care what's in the way, what's around, get it out the way. You're making my house junky. It can be the simplest, littlest thing in the corner. It's in the way. I'm gonna throw that away. You know what I mean? That did it, man. But anyway, that's what inspired me. What inspired me again to get back into doing it, because I honestly forgot that passion for it when I was younger, and I got into sports. I got into sports. I started playing football. I started playing basketball, and that was my thing, man. That was my passion at first. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. What really gave me the jump more than anything is when the MCU really started back up, and I started getting into the shows from Daredevil, from Luke Cage, and obviously the movies, Iron Man, the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, Thor, the Avengers, Captain America, all of them. They gave me that jump and that flair that I didn't have anymore. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have for anymore. And I knew that I was very creative, and I loved doing the things that I like, just watching everything. It was inspiring. And yes, yeah, hit that like button, please. Subscribe, like, and share. And I promise you that you guys will not be disappointed. I'm starting a new generation because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm a natural at this whole thing. I'm not trying to be overconfident, but you have to sit up here and go. You got to have some type of flair with yourself, and you got to go pushing. You got to push. You got to push. You got to fight and go after exactly what you want, and that's how everything goes. You know what I mean? But again, my first character, that once I started writing my first script, when I started writing my first script for Phenom, my first character, hey, how you doing? Touch grass? Hi. First character name was Night Reaper. That's my new character. My first character for Phenom Comics, his name was Night Reaper. The name of the book is Night Reaper Origins. Okay? And when I went into detail for Night Reaper, it honestly wasn't a difficult decision. Hey, it wasn't difficult at all. When it came down to me creating my first character, when I started writing Phenom, because at first I was just going back and forth trying to, come up with a good name. It's hard sometimes when you actually are coming up with names that is, either the titles or, names of your characters, and that's the biggest thing more than anything. Yeah, yeah, Lulu. I hope more people join too. I hope I'm not boring y'all. This is my first live for Phenom Comics, so I don't typically go live, so I'm just y'all bear with me. I'm literally just doing this, as a first go, and honestly, I want to be able to do lives more often, and I feel like that, that also help get you guys more into understanding who I am and what the brand is as well. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, again, I came up with Night Reaper because I'm a big fan of The Punisher, Ghost Rider. Thank you. And I thought about it, but honestly, my two top characters in all of superheroes is Wolverine and the Hulk. Period. If I have to go, anybody third, I'm putting Batman. I'm just keeping that 100, keeping that 100. So that's exactly how I feel about that when it comes down to characters that I love growing up watching, and what it also inspired me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on grinding, man. It's all that's what you're supposed to do. When you're starting out, it happens. So I'm not worried about it. We got to, and I appreciate those who did join and stopped in. No, nothing against nobody whatsoever. That's your prerogative. So we're gonna keep it going. So yeah, um, I did what was good, and Night Reaper was one of them characters. So Night Reaper, Chunky G, is a very complex character. He is a character that, you know, is very, very unique and different. Um, you could say a tad bit violent, but this is a character who has been through adversity, dealing with hardships and pain. And the thing that the story about Night Reaper is he served special forces. Um, started out first of all, he started out as a kid, hard headed, not really having no type of guidance, in life. You growing up in the inner city of Cleveland, Ohio. That's where Night Reaper is based, in my city, my hometown. And Night Reaper just didn't have, no real guidance or nobody to lead. Uh, the biggest thing about him was he was passionate, was a good kid, but when you're staying in the inner cities, one thing's for sure that's going to happen is you're going to deal with hardships. You're going to deal with struggle. And honestly, the streets will try to pull you back. Uh, and you have to be able to deal with those hardships that's going to cause any issues that's going to bring you to a point where you don't know if you're going to do well. You know what I mean? It's a big issue, with that. But it's always a great thing knowing that he can come through the adversities that he's dealt with. And again, about Night Reaper is he had a mentor. Someone came and got him, saw his potential of being great, saw his potential of changing the narrative, breaking the chain. That's what this character is about. And he ended up getting trained by the Madal Sadida, Awan Madal Sadida. That is an ancient African order of warriors. And his mentor name is Leon. He was trained by, and for those, again, who don't speak that language, Awan Madal Sadida means the Black Claw. So Michael Brooks is Night Reaper, and Michael Brooks was trained by the Black Claw. And afterwards, used his skills, took his skills, and ended up training and ended up getting into the Special Forces. Once he got into the Special Forces, he came home. He came home, he got married, he ended up meeting the love of his life. Her name is Maria. So they both were in the same unit, Special Forces. It was called the Black Flag Special Forces. He was captain of the Special Forces for Black Flag. Skills, the grit, the strong will, strategic, that knows how to battle. This character did what was needed. And once they both decided to leave and go home, Night Reaper, well, before he was Night Reaper, Michael Brooks, he ended up, coming home just for tragedy to strike. And he ended up, finding out that his mother was killed and due to gang violence. And that was one of the things that set due to the gangs that attacked his family home, the Brooks family home. So that's what, my inspiration was thinking about, again, for the, being in the neighborhood where I'm from. You don't have a lot of options to a degree where you have, before, with me growing up, I'm a 90s kid, and growing up, I've always seen mothers, elders, grandmothers, grandfathers, and friends' children, chilling on their porches, listening to old school music, relaxing, family time, and all that. And the problem is, all that changed. You feel unsafe. You can't do the things that you used to. You can't do the things that you once done as a family because you are afraid of the entities that's out there. And what makes Night Reaper is the fact that you have to think about, if you feel like law enforcement or no one else is doing their part and you feel like the justice system is failing. If you know what I mean, Chuck? So, and the thing is, if you feel like the justice system is failing and you are someone who has a family that you want to protect, that you want to have those good times again. One thing about Night Reaper was and is the fact that think of yourself as being that person that wanted to take the advantage, use your skill set that you've learned, your mind, and you want to take it into your own hands. You want to take justice into your own hands because you want your neighborhood and your families to walk the streets safe at night. Shoot, during the day, if you really want to be honest. That's what makes Night Reaper. You know, and Michael Brooks is an individual who decided to use his skill set, decided to use his knowledge, and go out here and make a difference and get rid of the entities that's evil and that is clenching their jaws on the innocent. You know, and that is the biggest thing more than anything else is one to say enough is enough. I'm tired of it. Everything is just going to hell. I'm about to take it into my hands and we're going to make things happen. I'm going to have to shut these gangs down the best way possible. I don't want to give too much away, you know, for the story, but yeah. But what I will say though is this. The situation with his mother getting killed is what that's kind of started the foundation of Night Reaper. But what really set him off was him and Maria were expecting their first child. It was a miracle child because they've been trying. It was a miracle child. And one night, Maria was out with her friends. Just one day she was out with her friends. Due to the same gang situation, she, you know, a gang member decided to try to rob them at gunpoint. And Maria, with her military background, but pregnant at the same time, you know, she tried to protect her friend. And what happened was she ended up taking the brunt of the accident and got shot in the stomach. So that's a little dark, but she got shot and obviously she lost the baby. And the crazy part about it was supposed to be a surprise to Michael. He didn't know that she was pregnant. That's what set it off. And when he found out, when she was laying in the hospital, when he found out that Maria was shot and they lost the baby, that's when he snapped. That's when he snapped. Because you want to still be a law-abiding citizen, right? You still want to be a law-abiding citizen. But again, you can't say, for those who are with me on this live stream right now, if you could make a difference yourself, if you've ever felt like the justice system just wasn't working, and if you felt like you could take it upon yourself to make something happen, when you want to, when you do it, if you could, if you had the resources, if you had, you know, the skill set, if you really was like, I'm tired of this shit. That's real. But yeah, but that's what, you know, what Night Reaper is. That's what started the foundation for Night Reaper. You know, due to family tragedy, anybody would snap. Anybody would snap. After so much, anybody would snap. You know, so another thing about you know, Night Reaper and anything, because I want to dive into, you know, the characters, backgrounds, and personalities. Well, one thing about, you know, Michael Brooks is he's laid back, you know, but he's very strong-willed and mild-mannered. Straightforward guy, you know, he cares very much. That's one thing about him is he loves his family. He loves his family. And one thing you will want to do is be able to protect your family for as long and as hard as you can. So Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we about to get into that. We about to get into it. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting. I didn't want to start diving into nothing too crazy, but I'm definitely about to get into that, man. So, um, we do have a couple of antagonists in Night Reaper Origins. Again, for those that's just joining or do not know, again, the name of the comic is Night Reaper Origins. Okay, so just thinking about it, I understand where you're coming from, Chuck P. It's all good, bro. It's all good. We're gonna get into that. So the name of the gangs that I am mentioning before, if you also want to understand more of the backgrounds of the gangs that I'm talking about, which are HK, the Heartless Killers. That is the gang for Night Reaper Origins that sets the foundation, a part of the foundation that makes Michael become the Night Reaper. You know, it's the HK gang. They're lethal. They bring fear. That's what inspired me, was due to the gangs in the neighborhoods, and that people fear to be outside and be around and have family time and things of that nature, is simply because you got gangs, that people that prey on the innocent, people that prey and just do things for the fun of it, for the hell of it, and just completely don't give a damn. Just keeping it straight up. And that's what inspired me to make HK. The Heartless Killers are very just lethal. And then when you think they just some mediocre gang, they aren't. They aren't any some mediocre gang. This is a gang that, again, they terrorize the neighborhoods. They bring fear everywhere they go. But you always got to know that one thing about the HK gang is somebody got to run it, right? Somebody's always on top calling the shots, right? So this is a character that I'm going to drop pretty soon, that I'm going to show you guys. But the name of the character is Silverback. Silverback is basically, he's an enforcer to a higher power. We ain't gonna get into that. I'm not gonna give too much detail, not just yet. But Silverback is an Italian guy. He's an enforcer of Phenom. One of the antagonists. He is a villain, big guy, muscle. What inspired me for him to bring in better detail is a Bane kind of character, without the serum, without the venom that he takes in to make himself strong. Silverback is a character that, he was also one of them hard-headed, roughneck dudes that came up into the scene before he got recruited to become a top enforcer, and to the big guy. He's a natural beast, brute strength, physical, aggressive, dangerous. He's one of them individuals that, as a man, he could crush your head with both his hands, with ease. Could crush you with ease. And that's what makes him a top enforcer. And also, the big guy up top, or woman, is who commands Silverback to do his bidding, but also run the HK to make sure that the underlings, the pawns, do the dirty work. But if he has to step in, best believe Silverback is going to make sure everything is handled. But also, too, Silverback is also one of those characters that you will not just see for the last time once you actually once you know about them. And I will start dropping these characters pretty soon on video, so you can get so you all can actually understand their backgrounds, who they are, understand their backstories, so you can get a better idea as for who these characters are. And that's really where it's going to boil down to. So you got that character, and not only that, he's not the only antagonist. You also have a character. Her name is Akima Sendeep, and she is my assassin. Okay, excuse me. She is the assassin of Night Reaper Origins, and she also is the underling for someone bigger. Now, understand this for sure. Her and Silverback, they bump heads. The reason for that is because they both want to be top guy for the top guy, if you understand what I'm saying. And understand, man, like this, like Akima Sendeep, she is, let's just say if she, okay, I made Akima Sendeep. She's basically Black Widow, but an evil Black Widow. Let's put it that way. So she's from Asia. She actually was she was raised in Mumbai, and then she ended up moving to Africa. Okay. So yeah, she ended up moving to Africa, where she ended up training and was raised from 6 years old. So she ended up, she got recruited because she ended up going into a life of crime as well, because she dealt with hardships and trying to make things happen, that actually would, again, break kids. When it comes down to survival, you have to survive in some way, shape, or form, right? So she ended up, dealt with training and the hardships as much as Silverback. Silverback is just a dog. Let's just put it that way. He's been a dog since he was younger. It's just that whole upbringing for him, where some stuff is just off for people from the beginning. Let's just be honest, and that's what made me settle with Silverback. He's the likeness of the dominant gorilla. And that's just really that's exactly what it is, man. I mean, so these will be the antagonists that Night Reaper will be facing in Night Reaper Origins. Again, it's something. It's a more of a dark and gritty comic. More dark, more gritty. It's a complex story. Again, if y'all like action and y'all like that dark, gritty, gory type of comic, this will be the right one for you. The story is very, complex. I always make sure that every time that I get a chance to be like, yo, what can I do? How can I make this story better? And how can I engage people? What will they like? Some people will be against the dark, gory storytelling. Some people are for it. Some people want that deepness. Some people want that damn. You know what I mean? Just to be on some, yo, I didn't expect that. And Berserk is really good, man. So the issues that I do plan on making when it comes down to Night Reaper, this will be the first issue. Because but if we are for future references, for future plans, I do plan on making more Night Reaper books. This will not be the first and only one. Night Reaper is definitely going to have more books to, you know, be put out there, and I would like to believe they will also be even better than the first one. So that's for sure. So yeah, just I wanted to just dive in and and again, the motivations for um uh Night Reaper again is the protection of his family. That's what drives and motivates Night Reaper is the protection for his family and his city. He's a man that has gotten tired of the injustices and nothing being done about the heartless killers, nothing being done about any of them. I don't know. I haven't tried that, Chuck. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I said, this is my first time going live, brother. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah. Hey, I have no problem with that, man. That'll be cool. Hey, like I said, this ain't the first and only live. I'm gonna do it again because I do want to talk to you guys furthermore to dive deeper into Phenom. I wanted to just tell you guys from what I know, from what I have for now, because there's still a lot of surprises, and I don't want to give off too much of these characters. So again, if you want to know more about the characters, I would like for you to go on to my channel, follow my Instagram with the links that's below. Follow them. You'll understand. You'll see a couple of characters now with their backgrounds, and you'll also understand more of their backstories of who they are. So obviously, the first character that I've posted out there for you guys was Detective Gamble. Detective Gamble is a part of Cleveland, where some people may say, and I can honestly see it too, where he's somewhat of a Jim Gordon, you know, of Night Reaper. You know, he started out, in Detroit, but he also had a lot of tragedy as well, where he lost his family. And again, if you don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Detective Gamble. He lost his family. Originally a Detroit cop. He lost his family due to taking on a case from one other character that is going to be done. Yeah, it is. High crime in Detroit. Also, he ended up went after a real sadistic character, or a sadistic villain that got his family involved. Basically that set the foundation for him to be a detective. But with the hardship, he lost his family due to the case. And I'm no mean like wife and kid just up and just left. They were murdered in the process of him, figuring out and solving his case. And Detective Gamble is one of them complex characters that's very vital. Is a vital puzzle to Night Reaper as well. By dealing with those hardships and dealing with the deaths of his family, and that's when he ended up moving to Cleveland to start afresh, but with a whole new perspective. He has a gruff attitude, like very very sarcastic, but he buries himself in cigarettes just to deal with stress, to deal with everything. But he's a good man. He's a good cop. He stayed respectable to his badge. He stayed respectable to the department that he's bringing into, and he does his job very well. But dealing with those hardships, dealing with the deaths of his family due to a case, he stayed true to himself. Again, just more aggressive, more, just more aware to make sure that nothing like that ever happens to him again. But he definitely is a man that's dealing with a lot of pain. And again, if you want to know more about Detective Gamble, you want to go onto my YouTube channel and Phenom Comics and actually watch the video for the character breakdown of Detective Gamble. Okay. And I also have another character. Her name, she's a reporter. Her name is Bianca Lopez. Okay. She is a reporter for for Cleveland 23 News. Okay. Bianca is Afro-Latina. the Afro Latino, girl who inspired to, speak up and again cover and talk about the harder, rougher, asking the rougher, harder questions that people are afraid to ask. She's another one of those characters that is like a Lois Lane or a Vicky Vale, if you will. That goes after the top story that's going to break her out. And she's already, and she's already one of those characters who also will be vital piece to Night Reaper and so on. So she would actually do something very great one of these days, but just more into the story where her personality is she's hard headed. Again, she has to get the best story, and if again you go into her character breakdown, you'll also see that her and Gamble has collided on more than one occasion. They collided on more than one occasion. Where again, Detective Gamble, he's very sarcastic, and for her, she's very hard-headed. She's Mike in the face. What's going on, Gamble? What's going on here? Boom, boom, boom. And obviously, what brings her onto the scene is obviously due to some action from the first sighting. Well, not sighting, but first showing an incident that involved Night Reaper. She covered the story because it was dark and it was gruesome. It was dark. It was gruesome. This also set the stage as for who Night Reaper is. And again, Night Reaper is one of those characters, man, that I think you guys will love. He's basically like my Batman, but Batman mixed with Punisher. Let's put it that way. He's a Batman and a Punisher. Let's put it that way. And I mean, again, he's driven by, again, by hardships, that's his drive. It's just wanting to protect his family and his city by any means necessary. By any means necessary. He's skilled in martial arts. I can't wait to show you guys for just to be more spoken on about who Night Reaper is than the character himself. I really do think that you guys will love this character. I really do. That and the antagonist that's inside, and just even the side of support characters, But yeah, Night Reaper has dealt with a lot of hardships. He has a brother. His name is Sean Brooks. He actually was there. He was there when his mother was murdered. He actually held her in his arms when she died due to the gang attack. And, and that drove him, just out of guilt to, for both of them, for Michael and Sean, for both of them, it drove an issue where it's just Michael, he wasn't there when the mother died, and then you have the younger brother of Michael who was there to witness and to hold his mother while she died in his arms. So that definitely left the scar on Sean and Michael. And again, if you have to, it's a lot of pull and puzzle here, okay? Just for these characters. Maria did her best and her damnness to, comfort Mike, to make sure, it's a family tragedy. You know what I mean? Sean, he got hurt in the attack as well, but obviously not as much as obviously the mother. But that's what sets Night Reaper going, was the death of his mother and with his wife. And yeah, but I am excited to put these characters out there for you guys for the future and to see exactly where we can go with that. And I believe it's a great story. I believe it's a great story because it's more realistic. Oh, it's definitely plot. It's definitely plot twists. And you talk about betrayals. Hey, you know what? You know what, Chuck? We was gonna get into the questions, and we was gonna get into the questions, man. You know, and there's definitely some betrayal going on up in here. I'm gonna let you know that off rip. There's definitely some betrayal going here. That's just gonna make the story even better. You know, because again, man, when it comes down to it, it's the characters, man. The characters. And like I said, I don't want to give too much of the story. I'm basically just giving y'all the beginning. I'm just giving y'all the beginning of this story of Night Reaper Origins, man. You know what I mean? But there definitely is some plot twists and portrayals, brother. Let me tell you, it's some portrayals in this book. You know, and that's why I want you guys to keep watching, and keep looking for those character breakdowns. Keep looking for because every video that I post, I'm going to post the characters of Night Reaper Origins, and they will have their backstories on the descriptions of those characters from the videos that I do post for you guys. So I want you to stay anticipated because y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna see exactly what I mean when I say this, man, where the story is good. I had to have this tested. Understand, this is not just me coming off of just telling y'all this is a great story. I watch a lot of damn movies, okay? I watch movies, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, man, and again, going back to everything that inspired me, man, because I'm a big anime fan as well. You know what I mean? And I thought Dragon Ball Z was my favorite all time in anime, but truth be told, I had to switch once I got into Naruto. I'm gonna be honest. Naruto, it helped me understand more of the underdog. You know what I mean? It helped me understand more of not giving up and dealing with hardships, dealing with hurt, dealing with pain, dealing with, tragedies and overcoming tragedies. Not just that, but I've had my own tragedies and hardships in my life, man. And I always feel like you should always still strive to be a good person, always be aware of your surroundings and things that's going on in your life, but always, man, strive to be a good person and be better, and always try to get what you want, and that's yours, that's yours, that you need in your life to make you whole. Because a lot of people are going through life walking these streets unfulfilled these days. And you want to be able to be that person that has a fulfillment and being like, I'm not going to let nothing stop me. So regardless of who pays attention, it's all about if you pay attention to yourself and how much you want to push and you go after what you want. That's exactly what it's about. And this is why I decided to go and make Phenom Comics, because I want to tell these kind of stories that not only I also talk about my life, but I also want to put it into these characters that I know that you guys can relate to, that you can love. And again, give y'all some deep stories, man. And understand, for those who have never told you how to come back from hardships, man, you got characters in this book that teaches you how to deal with tragedies, how to, come back from downfalls, and knowing how to redeem yourself. If you feel like you failed, or you feel like you aren't in the position to win, when you feel like you aren't in a position to win, you're going to win if you allow yourself to go out and fucking get it. I'm just keeping it out 100. Excuse my language, but I'm just keeping it straight up. That's it. But yes, Night Reaper is definitely going to show. I'm definitely going to show you guys. There's going to be some plot twists. There's going to be some betrayals. It's definitely going to be something good that I want you guys looking forward to. And again, if you can, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Again, y'all will not be disappointed. I think you guys would really love these characters, and that's simple. That's it. But I know y'all been asking questions already, but you know what I'm saying. But feel free to ask questions now. Let me know. Ask me anything. But we're gonna keep it brief. I'm not gonna tell y'all everything, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I can. Okay, so yeah. So ask some questions. Let's go. Okay, the next video and the update I will be dropping Tuesday. I will drop Tuesday, and well, the character that I'm going to drop Tuesday is Night Reaper. I'm going to drop Mike Brooks, aka Night Reaper. I know I made the three videos for y'all for character breakdowns, but I feel like it's only fair that I go out there and drop Night Reaper and give y'all the main character so y'all can read his backstory, understand his backstory, ask for more of the character and who Night Reaper is, and obviously more going on. So that way you won't miss it. That way you won't miss it, and you can understand these characters. And as you understanding these characters' backstories and their personalities, you'll see where and how the book forms. Because some of these characters you're not just gonna see one time. That's this. Just be honest. Some of these characters you're not just gonna see for once and the last time. They're going forward with other books, and they're going to collab with other characters. Just letting y'all know. Yeah, man. Honestly, I can't wait for y'all to see it too, man. Like, truly. Yes, there will be unlikely alliances with unknown characters. I have been working on. I've been working, bro. I have, man. And unlikely characters is definitely, is something that I like, because again, my motivations were to watching Marvel and DC and other characters in movies and everything. That does give you that motivation to be like, you know what, man, I see what they got. Let me show y'all what I got. And that's simple as that. But yeah, there definitely will be some unlikely alliances there. Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, again, man, I appreciate those. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm ready for y'all to actually see, these characters, man. I really do. I actually want to see, want y'all to see these characters and just who they are and what they bring, man. I feel like y'all will really enjoy it, most definitely. So I think about to go ahead on and get on up out of here, y'all. But I do appreciate everybody, man, that did come and join the live. I really do appreciate that. This is not the first and last one. I want to be able to engage with you guys more often, so y'all can get updates more and more on Phenom, because Night Reaper ain't the only one. I'm gonna tell you right now. So the next live stream, I want to be able to drop at least every Friday. Next week, same time. Yes, sir. So next week, same time. Friday, 4 p.m. Friday, 4 p.m. At the latest 5. At the latest 5. We all got our everyday lives, you know what I mean? But I'll make sure that I'm going to come on for y'all and do what I need to do. And I'm going to keep y'all updated on what's going on. And again, just again, be on the lookout for more videos and character breakdowns and character backstories, so you guys will not miss out, so you can understand these characters. I promise y'all, you are going to love these characters, and you be like, damn, what is this person gonna do? What are they gonna do in this? What they gonna do in this? It's a lot going on, man. It really is. My IP is definitely something that you guys will enjoy. Night Reaper Origins is definitely something that will be good. And And I may have a little thing going on a little bit where I actually may read a little bit to y'all from the actual script of Night Reaper so y'all can get a better story and idea as for who and what the book really is bringing with. Just pieces, just to show y'all. Just to show y'all so y'all can hear and be like, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. All right. So again, I hope you guys have a good one. I appreciate everything that you guys have done, just being here with me, asking questions. Chuck P, I appreciate you, brother. You keep striving and you do your 1-2 as well. Also, follow Chuck P. Seville's Boxing. If you went to that, please go and give this brother a follow, and I promise you will not be disappointed, man. This man is raw. This man is good. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's going to be the future one of these days. So y'all have yourselves a good one. Peace.